I really liked uppers, so it was like Adderall, cocaine, methamphetamine, stuff like that. That was like the, I guess, escape.
I've probably been addicted to alcohol and drugs for over 40 years, so it's just been a way of life for me. I guess it was normality.
Just spent all my money. I'd spent my parents' money because they gave me a loan. I was going to lose my apartment. I was going to lose everything.
Before I came in here, I was a very stone alcoholic, and I was a crack addict. I was living in the streets, homeless.
It's just always a way for me to numb my feelings, to keep from dealing with reality, to make reality what I wanted it to be.
Drinking, but functioning, and functioning at a high level. But then, once it got me, there was just absolutely no ability to get out of it.
In and out of jobs, going place to place, being homeless, starting back up, doing good for a minute, falling off again. It was just like a roller coaster.
Kind of said screw it, and next thing I know, I'm not going to church, I'm not going to community group, I'm not answering my phone, I'm not listening to the same music, I'm not reading my Bible, I'm not praying, and decided it's probably a good idea to move out of here and get a job as a bartender. It's no big deal, it's, I'm fine. And then for about a year and a half or so, I was just back in the hole again.
Cried out to the Lord and was like, I can't do this anymore, and I know that you made me better than this, and I need your help. I want to be the man that you've made me to be from the very beginning of time when you first thought of me, and that man is the man that I need to be for my sons.
Getting high out here for a while, once I was living on the streets doing that, I immediately was like, nah, there has to be a better way.
I decided to come back for the second time to really dig deep in myself, to find what was really wrong with me, to figure out, like, enough's enough. I'm getting older, it's time to grow up.
And finally swallowed my pride enough to call and reach out to Kevin and come back. I knew this was a safe place. I knew this is where God was.
I got all these guys trying to come around me and hug me and tell me they love me and clapping for me and celebrating, and I'm like, whew. So for the first 3 days, I laid in bed. I didn't want to be around it. I was sick.
So these guys, you don't know them from Adam, and they absolutely surrounded me and took care of me. Like, who does that?
First couple of weeks was terrible. Just all the emotions that I'd been numbing for so many years started coming back. Dealing with those emotions and how to handle them and how to deal with them was pretty rough.
After the 30 days, I was shy, but I had came out that shell because they said, you're here with brother, you're here with love.
Just being around all the guys who had similar, we were all there for a common reason, just different stories, and people who I could relate to, and that it seemed like they genuinely cared, for me.
In the Bible, it talks about the Paul, Timothy, and Barnabas. You got one that's kind of your spiritual leader, one that's with you, and one that you're kind of pouring into. I found that that's how you balance the cup, when you have somebody pouring into you, somebody that's like normally a little ahead of you in the program, they've got a better understanding of like, this is what you do at work, this is how you learn in the classes, that type of stuff, and they're pouring into you, it fills you up. You see somebody behind you that's struggling, it's nice to step outside of yourself and pour into somebody else. It's like, hey man, I was there 1 month ago, I get what you're going through. And then you've got your guys all around you, there's people that were, like Nick or Everett that were a week ahead of me or a week behind me. I went through the whole 13 months with those two guys.
The relationships with other guys was very important because you can always talk to them about anything without any judgment, and that's what made it, because everybody would judge you out in the world.
Not only to check you, like to hold you accountable on things, but to when things get rough, you have someone to talk to in a deeper sense of, getting stuff off your chest instead of just scratching the surface. Just having a good connection and a good trust bond between the brother that you're trying to explain it to.
One of the most important keys to success in this program while you're in it, as well as long term, is that community and keeping that community.
This place is designed to foster this need for community and relationship and being dependent on other people, not just God, but other men of God and women of God to help keep you in that lane He set you in.
Once you get to know somebody, you can see how real they are, and you take someone like Everett. He's a real, genuine person. I can trust him. I know he's got my back. I know he's going to tell me when I'm doing wrong. And because of that, I'm grateful for it.
The younger guys, they look up to me, and it's amazing because I never thought that could happen, and I never thought I could lead nobody to do nothing, but God knows what He wants me to do in my life.
It just has to be that, God's working in this place. And that people are here because of that, and they're trying to find their way and embrace that and find their way through it.
I definitely never thought I'd say this, but the Refuge will be part of me forever, and I'm going to miss it.
Wish I would have done this a long time ago, 59 years old, and hate that I waited this long, but fortunately it's God's timing, I believe.
I mean, I just feel like I'm changed. I have joy now in life. I'm joyful. I wake up happy. Never thought that would happen in my life. I wake up happy every day.
And so to actually step out and claim Jesus as Lord and try to live a new pattern of life, and yes, it benefits me, but it's also for my sons and my sons' sons and my sons' sons' sons, and that to me is more important than anything.
I want to bless all the brothers here and to give them the spirit to keep going and keep their heads up and keep praying.
Stay connected with community, be with the brothers that I've been around, and just the next phase of my walk to make sure that I'm going to maintain my faith and my sobriety.
And I just need to let go of all these things I think I know and pride and just allow God to work. He doesn't need my help.